Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaRachak, Kodash, to put honors into the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this 100% truth. Much peace and blessings be unto you, whole fool, like that the not this word of thought, truth, and sincerity. To all you Akimis, say Shalom. I am the Akira. I'm coming in with a quick lesson, going into how, in a sense, the book of Exodus, the 32nd chapter, from verse 10, will come to pass, through the ICBMs and the kingdom coming to pass. So in the book of Exodus, the 32nd chapter, it's going into how Jake, being stubborn as hell, ended up asking Aaron to make them a golden calf, a god because, a false god, because Moses was, was delayed up in the mountain. So they asked him to create a false god, that golden calf. And the Lord got pissed off and told Moses, "Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax out against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation." Alright, so the Lord, that goes to show that the Lord ain't all happy and jolly and that type of cupcakes and rainbows. He ain't that passive power who, will pity you for every single fuck up that is worthy of death, man. Because throughout history, you have accounts of the Lord just slaying people that transgressed His law. All right, the Lord, don't take kindly to people, people worshiping false gods. As a matter of fact, I believe it was 12 chapters ago in the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter. The Lord gave commands to Israel, going to how thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image from heaven, and on earth or in the sea to worship, man. All right, thou shalt not serve a false god. All right, but Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, the true power, the true God, that is who you're supposed to serve. Hey, so Jake understood that they weren't supposed to do that. Yet, they being, simple-minded, ended up asking for a golden calf. So, hey, that's worthy of death, man. That my wrath may wax out against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. Yeah, so the Lord wanted to, make a great nation out of Moses. Now, ultimately, behind the scenes, the whole scheme of things was that the Lord was in control. In control. It was just a movie. What's it called? The goings of man are the Lord. All right, the goings of man are the Lord. And that was actually in the book of Proverbs, right? Yeah, the 5th chapter, verse 21, or the 20th chapter, verse 24. So I'm gonna read it out. In the 5th chapter, verse 21, it says, "For the ways of the man are before the eyes of the Lord, and He pondereth all His goings." Hey, to ponder means to reflect, to deeply think about. Alright, carefully, especially before making a decision or reaching a conclusion. In Proverbs the 20th chapter, verse 24, it says, "Man's goings are of the Lord. How then can man understand his own way?" Yeah. How then can man understand his own way? We're just programmed to do what we're told. Every single little thing, is all planned. That saying, everything happens for a reason, is heavily emphasized through these precepts, man. And we have no free will. We can't break away. That was the case, then Moses would be like, "All right, make me a great nation," being egotistical, and but that's not how the Lord is, man. That's not how the Lord plays. He set everything in motion. Everything is programmed, or basically organic robots. But digressing back, verse 10, the Lord had that happen, and what's it called? So Moses could turn them away. But that right there happened so He could show us His fear, man, and to show us fear, all right, to show us His terror. Yeah, because the Lord could fuck you up, man. And I always tell myself that first and foremost. So that's really meant for fear. Obviously, the Lord ain't gonna, do us away. Hey, we're his children, man. You know? Hey, we're of him. All right, the other apostle Tar was going, the other apostle Gabar, Salaki, the other apostle Gabar was going to that. You know, we are a part of the Most High Spirit. And that's why it's called the Father Spirits. But going on verse 11, it's Salaki for my rambling. It goes on to say, Moses besought the Lord his power and said, Lord, why doth thy wrath wax out against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, for mischief did he bring them out to slay them in the mountains and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants to whom thou swarest by thine own self, and saidst unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven. And all this land that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. You know? But, you know, fast forward, you know, like the title goes, in a sense, Exodus the 32nd chapter, verse 10 will come to pass through the ICBMs and the kingdom coming to pass. Alright, because what tend to happen, because what is going to happen is that 2/3 of the nation of Israel. And, you know, if you can receive it, these same spirits on the scene right now were the same spirits back then, you know, bitching about, complaining. Alright, make me a gold. Believe it or not, those same people that asked for the golden calf are back here again today. You know, most likely as your mom, these celebrities as well. Right? So, yeah, what those gonna do is that he's gonna have a thermonuclear destruction that will consume 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you know, leaving a remnant to him, you know, to deliver. And we're in that nation that will replenish the nation as a whole. All right, 1/3 chunk will bring back the 2/3. I can get a quick piece of that. This will be in the book of Zechariah, the 13th chapter, verse 8. And it says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. You get your pie chart, and that's really a good reference to what this is going to. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call my name, and I will hear them. I will say, as my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. And in time about us, you know, being consumed through thermonuclear destruction, hell to the fucking no. Excuse my French, but just to emphasize that, hell to the no. The Lord ain't gonna do that. The Lord's gonna deliver. Be my piss elect, the hopeful elect, you know. Lord, we're a part of that number. He's gonna be my piss elect, and leave the 2/3 to get consumed by that fire, that little fire. You know. And rather, yeah, we're just being, you know, tried and refined. You know, we're being perfected. Y'all keep always going to that, being a better person than, you know, the monster you was, you know, today or the previous day. You know, I'm a, you know, in other words, I'm a cunt. Tomorrow's a better me. But even then, that tomorrow he's a cunt. You know, leaving the next day for more improvement. That's how it just goes, right? This is the book of Isaiah, the 10th chapter. I believe it was the 10th chapter. Go shepherd with me out here. Alright, you got, you know, staff 4th of July shite. But go shepherd with me. It was the 10th chapter, verse 21, and it reads, or verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, as such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them. Yeah, who's at him? Esau, Edom. Alright, smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. And we're going to be escaped out of the house of Jacob. You know, we're going to be escaped out, you know, this place, Babylon the Great. You know, a.k.a. Egypt. You know, spiritual Egypt. This says in the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter. You know, because just like back in the house of bondage, aka Egypt, you had Pharaoh, you know, smiting us, man. All right, we went through some hardcore shit back then. All right, so shall no more again stay upon Esau that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For those thy people Israel be as the sun of the sea, a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. And there was another precept I wanted to bring out, but I forget where it was. But I guess I'll bring it up for another time. Right now, I want to get out the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, verse 31. All right, Matthew, the 24th chapter, verse 31. And ye shall send, it's like verse 30. And then shall appear the Son of Man. That Son, that S is uppercase, capitalized for a title referring to Yahweh Shai, that Son of Man, Yahweh Shai, in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. All right, and those tribes are referring to only the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. But hey, all the nations, man, all the nations of the earth, all Jake and all the heathen, and all the tribes of the earth shall mourn. Because you got the men of the Lord out there now, isn't it? Just and on these lessons as well, and believe it or not, you came across them. All right, people came across, the worlds came across these videos, at one point or another. And they always have something to say, right? They want to keep on being that disbelief that the Lord ain't a black man, and he's a pale person with a mullet and blue eyes and brown silky hair. He's this kind, what's it called, fragile person with the red robe on. No, Yahweh Shai is an actual man. He looks like a man. That so-called Jesus, that Jesus image. That guy don't look like a man. That guy look like a simp. That guy looks like a weakling. That's because that was Caesar Borgia, man. The true son of man. That true son of man. The true son of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. His name is Yahweh Shai, and he actually looks like a man. All right, yeah, nah, sure. I've never seen Yahweh Shai in person, but I can sure as tell. He'll tell you that he looks like a man. He looks like an austere. He is an austere man. Austere meaning very cold. He has red eyes, as the scriptures describe, because he drank a lot of wine. And also red eyes represent, fierce, terror, anger. And believe it or not, the Lord should not meet Esau as a man. He's gonna come back hard, terrible to look upon. A man of your worst nightmares. A dream you only wish you could forget. He could bleach your eyes and all that. But Yahweh Shai is gonna come back terrible, all built with a great physique, looking like a classic, classic physique. Over in the bodybuilding stage, you got your classes. Yeah, if I'm mistaken, it was called the classic physique or a classic man. I forget. But Yahweh Shai gonna come back looking like that, but better. Like Rissin back. You guys gonna be in travail, like, what? A black man coming on UFOs? And you got people out there riled up when they look at the so-called UFOs. And they get riled up when they look at the chariots, man. That's in the book of Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. All they do is travail at the signs of heaven. But going on, it says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Yeah, great glory, man. All right, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. Hey, you have to realize, a heavenly group is coming from the spirit realm to this, crabby place. In other words, yeah, I said it, crabby place. Now, the earth was supposed to be a beautiful paradise right now, but it sure as hell ain't beautiful anymore. Now, sure, you got your tourist sites, which are well maintained, but even yet they're tainted, like the other postal writing I was going into. And everything is, just horrible. All that pollution. You can't even enjoy the freaking day without, seeing freaking plastic on the ground. And yes, we always, it's not a cliche. You freaking see it, we always talk about it. Plastic on the floor. Such a little simple thing, but yeah, so destructive. So going on, verse 31, he shall send his angels. Yeah, because the angels are going to come back as well with them, you know. The host of heaven ain't one person, it's a whole group. You know, the host of heaven in the Spanish translation, you know, it translates to army in the English. You know, it's host of heaven in Spanish is ejército, and ejército means, it translates to the English word army. You know, an army, military. You know, so you best believe angels are gonna come in hard too. You know, true warriors. So with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together as elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. And they say talking about, you know, that flat Earth map shit. You know, that flat Earth crap. You know that flat Earth theory is BS. That flat Earth doctrine is totally broken. You know, it's really a sphere. You know, a globe, a ball. You know, a circle. So when he shows a 3D circle, and he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together as elect from the four winds, and going to north, south, west, and east. You know, from all the countries, you know, all the lands where they've been scattered to, and, you know, put in captivity. Yeah, because although they ain't, you know, in hardcore bondage, yet they're feeling the effects of being under the heathen. Yeah, I came in the Philippines, man. Yeah, you know, I came in Russia. You know, last time I checked, Vladimir Putin was an Edomite. You know, so they shall get together his elect, Yahweh was elect, you know, Yahweh Shai's elect, from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. You know, so not the whole nation, they'll be saved, you know, through the reincarnation. That's in the book of Romans, 11th chapter. All right, the Lord is not unrighteous to and wicked enough to do so, man. No, the Lord's a righteous, just power. He's a Holy One of Israel. You know, he has a pure eyes, right? He has a just balance. So of course he's gonna deliver the whole nation, but hey, they have to go through the painful death, and then come back through the elect. You know, so going back to the title, hey, we're likened unto Moses. You know, the elect. All right, the Lord's chosen, whereas the everybody else, they have to be consumed. You know, they could be consumed in that thermonuclear destruction, man. You know, and those same spirits will come back through us. You know, the Israelites. It's like the elect. You know, and best believe in the kingdom you're gonna have a lot of baby making, man. You know, and obviously I'm not about women. All right, this side is about, you know, striving for this truth. But in the kingdom, well, that's your rest. That is your rest. So believe it or not, you're gonna be having a community, you know, coming in with like, you know, freaking 20 babies and I don't freaking know, you know. But best believe we're gonna be baby making. You know, that's in the book of Isaiah, the 60th chapter. And believe it or not, those same spirits that are gonna, you know, those same babies are gonna be those same spirits that got consumed on this side. You know, because, hey, you know, they're wicked. They have to come back through us. Like, we're the first spirits, man. You know. So we're being, although we're not gonna be having children, you know, like the other apostle Tahar made the mention how, you know, the kingdom, when he has his children, they're not gonna be called Taharites. All right, under him, no, we're gonna be all just called Israelites. But we shall be increased like a great nation. Sorry from rambling, by the way, but the book of Isaiah, the 60th chapter, verse 22, it says, all right, a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in this time. See, so going back, you know, it's just the 32nd chapter, verse 10, the Lord made mention how I will make thee a great nation to Moses. You know, but in this time, he will make his elect a great nation in the kingdom. You know, that's coming to pass. We shall be made a great nation. The two that shall come through us. But I just want to do a quick lesson on that, touching on that subject. It shall come to pass. But with that being said, shalom.